and I am from Typhon Vision, and Typhon Vision helps companies build profitable marketing solutions online through web design, e-commerce solutions, search engine optimization, and internet advertising campaigns. And the name of my presentation is Internet Marketing Simplified. It's looking at internet marketing from a broad perspective. For some of you who are familiar with the more technical aspects of internet marketing, this might be a little bit basic. Having said that, I'm willing to entertain some of the more detailed questions. So it's really catered for the person, for the business owner or someone looking to market their business on a top-down perspective. So what I'm going to be talking about today are the two major methods of internet marketing. The first one would be pay-per-click internet advertising, and the second one would be, if you've heard this before, search engine optimization. And what we're going to be looking at are when to actually implement these two marketing methods. When does it make sense? And finally, what I'm going to hopefully leave you with is a takeaway on how you can possibly engage in that process yourself and how you can even manage that process yourself, and some tips to be able to begin that process. So let's be clear exactly what is pay-per-click advertising and what is natural search engine optimization. Now, unless you've been in a cave for the last 10 years, you've been on Google. And if you've been on Google, you've been searching for something. So in this given case, we have someone searching for a cleaning company in Toronto. So they would naturally type in something like cleaning company Toronto. So when you have search engine results, there's a breakdown of information, what we call natural results and sponsored pay-per-click links. The red section here would be the natural section, and the green section here would be the pay-per-click advertising. Now, the way the pay-per-click advertising system works, and I'll go into this in further detail, is that a fee is paid to Google to be able to achieve that favorable ranking on the first or second or third page, because that would help to increase the visibility of the company and therefore increase their traffic numbers to their website. The red section is deemed natural in the sense that a fee is not paid to Google directly. However, these days, business being competitive as it is, often people utilize certain search engine optimization tricks themselves, or they hire a company like Typhon Vision to be able to help them with that process. And I'm going to be talking about some of the tips and how the general processes work. So pay-per-click internet advertising does not only limit itself to the Google system when you do Google searches. There are also a number of other systems of pay-per-click advertising, which include Facebook ads. So if you've ever been on Facebook, you'll notice that there's these ads on the side here, and they actually target to your demographic, to your age group, to your specific profile. There's also Yahoo as well, and there's also MSN, which is also known as Bing as well. And they actually all model the Google Ads system, because Google Ads was the first to come out with this model, and they were actually the most successful. But they're very similar in their nature. So the basic question that often comes up, and there's a lot of confusion about this, and when do you actually employ search engine optimization, and when do you employ pay-per-click as your marketing strategy for your online strategy? Now, marketing is a form of investment. You put time, effort, energy, or money to be able to get an expected return on investment. So if I were talking about online marketing as a form of investment, as the best analogy would be pay-per-click advertising would be like your stocks, meaning that you have, it's basically allows you to have a quicker rate of return. However, it can be more volatile, and I'll explain this concept further. Natural SEO is like real estate. Over a longer span of time, you're able to achieve results. However, it takes longer to be able to appreciate those results. So I'm going to explain what's the difference between these two here. Now, there's a lot of factors and strengths and weaknesses between pay-per-click advertising and SEO, and they have their strengths and weaknesses, but the biggest factor is the time frame in which it can take effect. So I'll explain that. So if you have a given business, or you're a marketing manager of a given business, and if you were looking to promote a certain product line in your business or your business in general, if you decide that you want to put a pay-per-click ad up, as long as there's no obscenities, there's nothing illegal, you can actually have that ad on the same day appear and start to realize traffic benefits. So pay-per-click advertising, in that sense, it works much quicker than natural search engine optimization. Search engine optimization revolves around the techniques of making the website more attractive to search engines like Google and Yahoo. Now, the disclaimer with that is it takes time when those changes are actually made and when those changes actually get recognized by search engines like Google and Yahoo, because there's something known as an indexing rate. An indexing rate basically means how frequently a search engine checks your website to see if there's been any updates. Now, this number is different for a lot of businesses. If you're CNN.com, it might visit your website every day, so therefore it has the most up-to-date index of your website. For most small businesses or even average businesses that don't update their website that often, it can be anywhere from 2 weeks to a month. So usually the disclaimer that we would say for a search engine optimization campaign to even start seeing effects, 3 to 6 months is the reality to be able to start seeing the results. Having said that, it has a little bit longer lasting value. So the beginning parts of your campaign to get those explosive, fast results, pay-per-click advertising works better, and a longer-term strategy should be made with search engine optimization. So exactly how does the pay-per-click system work? And I'm being very brief in the summarized process and how it works. The best way to think of it is it's an online auction that works lightning fast. Now, Google is an amazing tool that anytime you do any given search, what it is, it's managing the natural results as well as it's managing an online auction. So if we were typing in cleaning company Toronto, it is actually managing a bid that's happening, and which is all automated and computerized, and then therefore people are winning bids and achieving favorable rankings. And I'll break down how that bidding process works. The first step in this online auction is you set a monthly budget. So the monthly budget has a minimum rate for Facebook, Yahoo, and Google. They all start at $31 per month, $1 per day. Okay, so that's affordable for most businesses. And we have clients that are even at that lower end because they're testing the market. They're trying to see how effective that their online marketing will be without investing a huge amount. Having said that, you have to have some realism in terms of the results you get. And we have also companies spend thousands per month on their pay-per-click advertising. The point is you can spend the amount that you're comfortable with, what makes sense to you. Now, $31 per month is actually a pretty affordable amount for most people. Once you establish your monthly budget, you then select the keywords you'd like to rank favorably on. So if you're a cleaning company Toronto, when people type that in Google and you want to appear on the first or second or third page, that would be one of your relevant search terms. It might be cleaning Toronto. There might be a big difference between cleaning company Toronto and cleaning Toronto in terms of the traffic numbers that are actually pulled in. Perhaps cleaning Toronto actually has more people searching on that per day, but it could also have less competitors. So ideally, you want to be able to find a search term that has a high amount of traffic, but less in the amount of competitors that people are trying to bid on that different keyword. You want to get your best bang for your buck. If you go to this website here, adwords.google.ca, select keyword tools external. I know it's a long name there, but this is where writing down your name to send the presentation comes in handy, because you can just get that link right there. You can actually type in specific keywords, and it will show you that last month how many people actually typed in that given keyword. And also will then show you on a scale how competitive that keyword term is. So based on that, you can get an idea as to what would be your best bang for your buck and which keywords you'd like to select as a strategy. So once you've selected your monthly budget, and that monthly budget, like I said, it's the amount that you won't spend any more than, that will be your limit for that given month. You selected your keywords that you'd like to rank well on. Then you select your bidding range for each of those keywords. Now this can be a complex thing, but the best way is, if you're new to pay-per-click, is you can actually have Google, Facebook, or whatever advertising system you choose to automatically select that number for you as a bidding range. So it will take your monthly budget and take a reasonable amount, so you're not burning out your budget within the first week. So having said that, if you have a $31 budget per month, it might have 50 cents per click as your bidding range. So that bidding range, based on how high or low, it makes you, it puts you in a more aggressive bid. So based on your bidding range, you appear with greater frequency on the first or second or third page of every time a search is done. Having said that, you're not committed to that amount until someone actually clicks on your given ad. So the higher the bidding range is, the better positioned you are, the more likely that you will appear on the favorable pages of search engines' rankings. Now, the issue of pay-per-click advertising is a complex subject. There is all other factors in there, like a quality score as well. click-through ratios and things like that. Having said that, it is something that someone can manage themselves who have not, they're not technical experts. Google, Yahoo, Facebook, they do try to make this system as intuitive as possible that the average person to a certain degree can manage that process themselves. However, companies do hire us to manage that process because for one, it's time consuming. Second of all, usually the market's fairly dynamic. Things usually change. So, but for further reading, I would encourage you to go to Amazon.com where you can get pay-per-click search engine marketing for dummies. It's a great book in which it explains in no-nonsense terms on how the pay-per-click system works. But those are some of the basic principles. And all the other things that detail around it, like click-through ratio, all the other technical aspects revolve around those principles. Now, search engine rankings. There's a lot of mysticism on how search engine rankings work. And I deal with this every day. There's a lot of different ideas. And there are a lot of principles. Okay, Google has actually confirmed that they have over 200 factors which they determine search engine rankings. But there are two major factors. A lot of people get caught up in all these little details, but you need to walk before you run. And a lot of people are trying to run before they walk. And the two major principles and all those other 200 principles, one way or form or other, revolve around these two major principles. So how does search engine rankings work in a nutshell? There's two major principles. The first one is keyword density, and that means a certain repetition or frequency of a given keyword. So if you want to rank well on Cleaning Company Toronto, step number one, you need to have that given keyword term on your website in the visible or invisible sections. Invisible sections means there's hidden sections on your website, such as the meta tags, title tags, alt tags, all hidden areas of the website code which you can address it, or the actual visible text. We have a lot of companies that come to us and say, you know what, I want to rank well on this given keyword term, and it's nowhere to be seen on their site. So that's step number one. You need to have that, first of all, on your given website. And ideally, you need to have it in high frequency. And the reason why the idea behind high frequency is that Google, Yahoo, Bing, they're able to determine the overall content matter of a given subject if it has a high frequency or high repetition of a given keyword. So I'm extending this example here, and this is a contrived example. If you have the given keyword text on your website, XYZ company is the #1 cleaning company in Toronto. We specialize in cleaning in Toronto. We're the best in cleaning in Toronto. Call us now. That would be a keyword dense page. However, that's overdone, which I'll explain that concept a little bit further. But that's aspect number one. You want to have keyword-dense pages with the specific keyword terms. Now, if in the ideal world, if two websites had exact keyword density, and I'm saying this is the ideal world, this doesn't happen often, they had the exact amount of keyword density, the one with the greater amount of outside links would get the higher vote. And this is internet marketing simplified, so I'm speaking in general principles. There's also quality of links as well. Such as page rank, such as if it's deep link, meaning that if it's on the main URL or not, if there's anchor text. But in general, okay, the greater amount of outside links will get you the higher vote, because an outside link is considered a third-party vote to say the quality of your site from a third party is actually higher. So the first aspect is keyword density. The second aspect is outside links from outside websites. And a lot of these 200 principles, one way or shape or form, revolve around those basic principles. So the question is, yeah.
Does it have to be two-way or just one-way?
Yeah, I'll answer that question in a second. It can be either. And what your question is if they're two-way or one-way is if a person is pointing to your website versus you are trading links together. There is higher value if a person is pointing to your website and you're not pointing to theirs. You can also have it that you're pointing reciprocally to each other. There's less value on there, but that's better than nothing.
So if the outside point to my website has more value?
Sorry? Yeah, if it's a one-way relationship, meaning like I'm a fan of this person, but they're not a fan of me, then that's a better link. So that's one of the aspects of a quality link. But having said that, if it's a two-way, it's better than not having anything at all in terms of a link exchange. Okay?